Oh, hello. It's Friday, the 1st of September, and we are in Bilbao. Hello, welcome back to Richard Vlogs Disney. My name's Richard. I make Disney vlogs, obviously. Roberta is asleep because it is 7:30 in the morning, but it is 7:30 in the morning of the day that we arrive in Bilbao. And I have never been here before, and I really wanted to be here when, we pulled into port. Quite an interesting port, actually. I've never been to Bilbao before. I didn't expect mountainous, but yeah, we've just got here. We're just pulling up now, so I'm just going to take a little walk around deck 13, deck 12, and just see what's going on. It is looking a little bit grey this morning, but the weather forecast is for it to clear up, I guess, as the day goes on. It did say that it would be somewhat sunny today. This isn't Bilbao as in where we are right now isn't the town of the city. Apparently it's about half an hour drive to the actual city centre. There's a complimentary bus that's going to take us into the city centre, which I think Disney is very good at doing it at ports that are far away from city centres. I've seen it in other people's vlogs that whenever you're far away from something, they put the bus on to take you into town. So there is a complimentary shuttle that will take us into the city, which is what we're going to get, and we'll figure that out when we get down there. But we've got about an hour, I think, before we're actually going to be able to get off anyway. Our Union flag from Wednesday has been replaced with the Spanish flag. This seems to be where we're going. We're sort of rotating now. I think this is where we'll be parked for. Docked. There you go. That's the word. Forgot the word. Despite being British and it being very easy to get here, I've never actually spent much time in Spain. I've only ever been to Barcelona, which I was there for work twice, and that's really as much time as I've spent in Spain. So I'm genuinely looking forward to just going out and having an explore. We don't have set plans. Our plans are get the shuttle, go into town, and have a look around. See if we can find something nice to eat. And just, see the sights of Bilbao. So every cruise that I've ever been on, every Disney cruise that I've ever been on, apart from obviously the Magic that didn't go anywhere for, COVID related reasons, it's still probably my favourite cruise I've ever been on, but that's another story. Every cruise I've ever been on has gone to Nassau and Castaway Cay. That's just the two places, to the point that we're we need to go to other places. It is really cool to be somewhere, I'm trying to spin you around the railway, somewhere else that is, not Nassau or Castaway Cay, but it's just different. I need to be caffeinated though, so I'm going to get a coffee now, and then I will get another one when Roberta wakes up. So I'm going to pop down to deck 4. I'm going to go to Vista Cafe rather than Cove Cafe. And then we'll go to Cove Cafe when Roberta gets up and after we've had some breakfast. I've come down to the promenade deck to get a better look, but we are nearly here. I came down to Vista Cafe to get a coffee. The music's just changed. The music in the atrium is very European. A minute ago it was flamenco guitar, which is a nice touch. We seem to be here. There's ropes. We're tied off. The gangway is being organised and set up, and we're here. And I have a coffee on my favourite place in deck 4. Just like when you go on any cruise, to get off, you need to take some government issued photo ID. They haven't said if driver's licenses are fine, but I have my passport, so that's what I'll take. And also your key to the world card, which is one of those. A recommendation, especially in a port like this where there doesn't seem to be anything else here today, is take your lanyard off when you get off the ship, because it just screams, I'm a tourist, if you're wearing it around town. When you go to Nassau in the Bahamas, everyone's a tourist. You don't need to scream, I'm a tourist, because everyone is a tourist, whereas this, not so much. And we are off. I've never got off a ship in port before on a gangway like this. Get a nice view of the ship down here. doing some work on a balcony just there. Always working on their ships when they're in port. You see that with every Disney ship. The terminal here is very new. It's very modern. It's cool, I like it. Feels a little bit like an airport. There was a tourist information place as we got off that gave us a map, and then we just follow the signs here where it says Disney Dream complimentary shuttle service, which is going to take us outside. Just follow the arrows and, well, I guess it's this line. And welcome to Bilbao. That was about half an hour. A little bit of traffic, but nothing crazy.
Nice views.
It was it was nice views. The area by the port has some incredible houses. That seems to be like the like good area to live if you have that kind of money. Does anyone else do it when they come to like a place and they walk past a like estate agent or a real estate place and go, I wonder how much it is to live here, and then you like compare the prices to where it is at home? Bilbao, relatively affordable, but then I guess that depends where you're comparing it to. If you're comparing it to London, I guess most places are relatively affordable. There's just this beautiful church here. There's lots, as we're walking around, there was lots of different architectural styles, and that free map we got handed basically pointed out places to see a lot of different architectural styles, if that's what you kind of want to come for. So this is Plaza Federico Moya. It seems to be sort of the main, sort of in the middle of the city. How beautiful is this old Art Deco building? I love that. But there is just architectural styles galore.
And there's the mothership behind that bus over
Oh,
there.
is there a Starbucks over there? Yeah. Yeah, it's Starbucks. Yeah, it's beautiful. First impressions of Bilbao is it's very clean and organised. No, very tidy. I like it a lot. It's just a very pretty city so far. We're also super lucky with the weather. Like, oh, get the sun behind my head. It's cleared up so nicely considering how cloudy it was this morning. It's like a perfect temperature, like 22, 23. So it's warm, but it's not like horribly boiling hot. Yeah, it's just kind of perfect being outside kind of weather. Yeah, I like it a lot. One thing I always suggest to presume in Europe is that jaywalking is not allowed, which is walking when it's red, or walking like not at a crossing. In the UK, there's no like laws or problems against it. We do it all the time. But I know when we go to Denmark every now and then, and I know in Denmark it's not allowed, is it?
Yeah, my brother really makes sure.
Yeah, Roberta's brother like shouts at us every time we try and cross the road somewhere not correctly. So in Europe, I don't know what the rules are in specific places, so I think it's just best to assume don't do it. So we've decided to head towards the old town because there was a port adventure that essentially would bring you here, and we thought we'll go there anyway. So we're walking down there now. Basically, to get there, if you do come here from the ship or where you get dropped off, kind of walk towards the train station, and then there's some bridges across the river, and then once you get across the river, you're in the old town. So we're crossing the river now towards, like, this is the old town down here. But it is, I mean, if the bus would get out of the way, it's a very nice place to walk around. It looks like Bilbao has like a tram service, so maybe an easy way to get around. Well, this looks like a theatre or an arena or something. It's beautiful. Lovely, lovely architecture. And this is why I wanted to come to the old town, just like little streets like this, these apartment buildings. This is just so stereotypically European. I know if I have any American friends watching that England is in Europe, and you think of Europe as one big contiguous place, but it's not. It's very different, and to me London doesn't feel European like at all. Like, this is very continental European, so this reminds me a lot of like, well, Spain, Barcelona, which is where I've been before, but even like little other towns in other countries When you see on like online or on TV or something, this is like what I think in my head is little streets like this. I feel like everyone has the thing that they get from when they go to places. We always get magnets, so we got this one because this is like all of the road signs, street signs are like this, and this one's just very pretty. Like magnets are just our random way of like remembering and getting little keepsakes from the places that we go. We're not big into buying like lots and lots of touristy kind of souvenirs and stuff, but magnets is always the thing that we try and find everywhere we go. There are some of those road signs, so all of the road signs throughout the city look like this. I really like it. If you do want to buy any like souvenirs or things like that, is worth bringing a little bit of cash with you, because not everywhere will accept card, and it depends. Obviously, your bank may let you do like free withdrawals, but if you do have a little bit of cash, it's definitely best when you're out in a foreign port to have a little bit of cash with you. Another beautiful church. Very common, I guess, in Spain. Bilbao was founded in 1300, so very old city. I don't imagine much of this is the original buildings, but this would, as it is the old town, this is where the oldest buildings would be. I love these really tight little streets. The washing on the line. Yeah. Very European. We walked all the way through the old town. We've ended up back round by the river, so we're going to follow the river follow the river back round to the bridge that we walked across and walk back into the main town. We're going to walk to the Guggenheim Museum to have a look on the outside. The Guggenheim is a modern art museum, which is not really our kind of thing. So we're going to go have a look at the outside, because the outside looked very cool from when we were driving past it on the bus. But we're going to go have a look at the outside and then sort of start making our way back towards the bus to make our way back towards the ship. We want to get back onto the ship for about 1 o'clock, like 1:30, get some lunch, and then hopefully have a little bit of an afternoon where the ship's a bit quieter before we obviously sail away for another day at sea. The other impression of Bilbao is that it's not like super touristy. Like obviously it has like souvenir shops and touristy bits, but it's not like, you know, Madrid, Barcelona. Yeah, it's not like saturated. It seems very calm and quiet, which is nice. You get like a more authentic experience that way, I guess. I think that's the train station. I don't think the camera really shows it off very well, but that's beautiful. The architecture is incredible. Since it's hot and it's kind of the must-do, get a little bit of ice cream. We've got some mojito going on over here. I've got some lemon. Just some more lovely Bilbao architecture. I think you get the picture now that there's a lot of beautiful buildings here, but just another one. And this is the Guggenheim. Very striking building. I love this big flowery, I believe it's a cat, but it's a flowery animal of some kind next to it. But it's just very juxtaposed to the very sort of traditional European architecture around us. Apart from that, obviously, a big glass building. And then you have this. Yeah, look at that. It's very cool. Sort of like I know there's one in the like original Guggenheim Museum is in New York, and that's like that white building. I don't really know how else to explain it. You have to Google it because I'm terrible at explaining things. But yeah, look at that. That's very cool. Now I get close, I also see that this is a dog. There was a port adventure that comes here. Well, there's two port adventures that come here. There's one that will bring you inside and one that will bring you just outside. And then both will take you to the old town where we went. The port adventures that came here and then went to the old town, I think they're about $89, $99. They're about 4.5 hours, 5 hours.
Not like 8 hours.
Yeah, I think you can do the like longer port adventures. I don't know if that was the ones that came to the Guggenheim though. But obviously if you want like to go to these places and have someone explain things and point things out to you, then you know, absolutely. But we sort of did it ourselves, and you know, it's quite a very walkable place. So if you are thinking of coming here on next year's 4-night Bilbao cruise, then you definitely can do it yourself, and you just don't have the tour guide really to help you out. It's just about 1 o'clock now, so we've been off the ship for about 3 and a bit hours. So we're gonna start heading back now, get some lunch and just have a chill out, try and do the aqueduct while the ship's hopefully quiet, and then, you know, get ready to sail away. I'm really looking forward to, assuming that the sun stays out, I'm really looking forward to sailing away from, you know, I think it'll be a nice view to be sailing out from. Just another view of the Guggenheim from just round the corner. Very striking building. Back at the ship, just taking an opportunity to come down and have a look at the front. Can't quite get down far enough to see them, like the medallion, the Mickey on the front, but it's always cool to see the ship from right down here. Makes it seem way bigger than it is even when you're on it. But we're gonna get back on now. We're gonna go and get changed, go to try and get the aqueduct done, like go on the aqueduct, and then, if I'm being really honest, I'm gonna go and find a nice place, probably in Satellite Falls, but somewhere by a swimming pool, and I'm gonna have a nap. So we had our run round the aqueduct, we had our nap down by Satellite Falls, and while we've been doing that, we've left. Well, we've started to leave. We've pulled away. We just played all the horns, but we've come up to deck 13 at the back to watch us leave Bilbao. It was a really good port day, actually. When we booked the cruise, sorry, not two cruises. We had a choice of two cruises, which was Bilbao or La Rochelle in France. We chose Bilbao, and I'm really happy with our choice. It was a good day. There's a group of people down there like screaming and waving. This is the first Disney ship to ever come to Bilbao. The Magic, even when it used to come to Europe, never came here. So it's drawn a little crowd, which is really sweet. Thoughts on Bilbao?
Yeah, it's nice.
It was nice, isn't it? I don't think it's like a place where I would go, let's go back to Bilbao for a weekend or something.
Yeah, no.
But at the same time, it's a place that I'm glad that I came to. Like,
Yeah, it's another place to tick off the list.
and yeah, like I said, of the two options that it was between Bilbao or
Definitely here. I don't
Yeah.
think I'd want to go to France.
no, I don't think I mean, I don't know, we've never been to that place in France, we don't know what it's like there, but they are coming back. So if you are looking at 2024 Europe cruises, there is a Bilbao sailing, so that is an option for you. There is another 4-day Spain cruise that goes to La Coruña, and then there is a 5-day Spain cruise that goes to La Coruña and Vigo. So there are options if you fancy a Spain cruise from Southampton in 2024. Leaving Bilbao very slowly. Obviously, as you can hear, Toy Story just finished on Funnel Vision. We've come to Vanellope's. This is the paid-for ice cream shop on the Dream. I wish you could smell this. There's ice cream.
You're going to get yourself a trophy.
I don't know, maybe.
I think you are.
All of the ice creams. You can also get the popcorn that you get in the confectionery on Main Street. So the fruity mix. There's also some coconut patties.
What am I doing in here? Well, I'm trying not to be
A little
too-
Easter egg. There's also a selection of cakes, like crispy bars, Rice Krispie bars. There's macaroons, cupcakes. This is the family challenge. So you get 6 scoops of ice cream, a bunch of toppings in this trophy. I reckon I could do that. Yeah, no worries. So I got a scoop of cookies and cream, a scoop of mint chocolate and some whipped cream. Roberta got some gelatos. What flavours did you get?
Caramel.
Caramel. Loves the caramel. You may ask why get ice cream that costs money when you can just walk over there and get free ice cream, and I said because I'm on holiday and I want this ice cream. It was $11.25 for both, which I don't think is that bad. I don't know how much you can hear me, I haven't got my microphone with me, but there are dolphins playing. I don't know if you can see them, if I've got any of them on video, but there are dolphins playing in the waves that the ship is making. Sorry, I didn't have my microphone in, I don't know how much you just heard. But yeah, there are dolphins playing. I was sat listening to music down on deck 4 on the promenade. Roberta's getting ready for dinner, and I just looked up and I saw something moving in the water. I was like, what was that? And it was a dolphin, and that was really, really cool. We are back in Royal Palace again tonight for Caribbean themed menu. So we start tonight with the Caribbean themed menu with the crab cake. I forgot to record before I started digging into this jerk chicken. I love jerk chicken and this is very good. So, and then Roberta went with the pasta. I think it's called Jack's Catch or something along those lines. Scallops, prawns. That's it. Jack's Treasure of the Seas. Scallops, prawns. Anything else in there? Shrimp. And this time we've gone for the same dessert, which is a caramel and macadamia nut cheesecake. Roberta just said it's really good, so if she's saying it's really good, it's good. As always on Pirate Night, we have some pirates meeting in the atrium. Captain Hook's in the big spot on the balcony. Minnie and Mickey are down meeting as well. Big queues, obviously, for the characters. The towel animal of the day is an octopus.
Kraken.
Complete with doop, doop, chocolate coin. Oh no, not the. It's too soon. That's how you know it's coming to an end. Your tip slips. Sorry, that's gratuity slips end up in your stateroom. That's how you know it's nearly time to go home. Because it's Pirate Night, we have Muppet Treasure Island on the funnel vision. It is Pirate Night, but the fireworks, because this was a firework night, but the fireworks are not, thank you, suit me, they're not pirate themed fireworks at the moment because it is for the 25th anniversary. They have a special fireworks music for the 25th, so I'm looking forward to seeing what this is all like.
We couldn't celebrate this evening without some friends that have been here since the very beginning. So let's all welcome Captains Minnie and Mickey Mouse. Oh, come on, are you ready? Then here we go!
Fireworks are really good. I think it's a bit shorter than the normal fireworks, but they've packed like the same amount of fireworks into it, which actually I think I prefer. There's a lot more going on. So yeah, I really like the fireworks. That was really good. They're having the dance party up on the deck now. That's not really our kind of thing. We are going to go down to the Skyline lounge because on the very first time we came on the Dream, we were like, we will go and have a drink in there, and we never did. And then the second time we came on the Dream, we went, we will go and have a drink in there, and we never did. So we're finally, third time's the charm, we're gonna go and have a drink in the Skyline lounge. So this is where we are going. Oh, it's nice and empty, which is good. So this is the Skyline lounge. It's like a classy hyperspace lounge from the Wish, where instead of space outside, we have different skylines. So right now we are in New York, and then the menu has different drinks based upon the different cities. We are going for this one because this is like a drink we got on the Magic when we went on the Magic, called I can't remember what it's called, a Glowtini, I think, in Fathoms. and I've been looking for it ever since, and I knew it was going to be in a lounge somewhere, and I finally found it. So now I know where to come if I'm over on the Dream or the Fancy again, and you want the Glowtini, you come to the Skyline Lounge. And here it is, complete with glowing cube, because I am a child. How is it? I don't drink very much, like ever. Roberta just told me this is strong, so this could be fun. It's not, ooh. No, it's not quite the same. Thank you. It's still good though. And we're back in our room. We went and watched the karaoke for a little while. They were
forced to sing.
We were kind of forced to sing a line each of Mr. Brightside because they were really struggling to get people to actually, you know, join in. I guess that's kind of what happens when you're in a cruise that's mostly British people as opposed to Americans who are a little bit more reserved. But anyway, I'm not going to say bye now. I'm not going to get you to do all of that other stuff because I'm pretty sure tomorrow is going to roll in. In fact, I'm just going to roll tomorrow into this vlog. So, transition. Oh, hello. Welcome to sea day number 2. You join us more than halfway through the day because, as with the last one, it's a sea day and we really haven't been up to much. We just went to watch The Haunted Mansion in the Buena Vista Theatre. It's probably the first time we've ever watched it. Actually, it's the second time we've watched a film on a cruise. The first time was the premiere of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, because that was the day it came out. This is the first time we just watched like a film in the cinema on the ship, because normally when we're on one of these cruises you think like, oh, I don't want to spend time sat inside watching a film, but that's the great thing about lots of sea days is you have, you know, the chance just to not really worry about that kind of stuff. It's pretty rocky actually, surprisingly, because the sea doesn't look too bad. Let me spin you around. It's not like horrible, but it's just a bit rolly. But there's a lot of ships out there. I'm sure you can't really see. There's this massive one there, but there's a whole bunch over there. The difference between this and being in like the Caribbean or something is all of the ships are cargo ships, whereas in the Caribbean you just see cruise ships everywhere. We haven't seen another cruise ship the entire time we've been out here. And thoughts on the Haunted Mansion?
Yeah, I thought it was quite good.
I kind of enjoyed it. I must admit I didn't have the highest hopes for it. Well, I didn't have high hope, I just didn't really have any opinion about it at all. So
A lot of Haunted Mansion references.
yeah, if you are a Parks fan and you like the Haunted Mansion, there is a lot of Haunted Mansion references in it. So you'll like laugh and giggle at like certain little bits. But yeah, I thought it was good. I'd say a solid like 3.5 out of 5. Like, if you like the ride, it's worth a watch. If you like Disney films, it's worth a watch. Like, it's not an avoid by any means. But yeah, I liked it. Owen Wilson's in it. Yeah, it's kind of how it goes. Better than the Eddie Murphy like Haunted Mansion movie, because I actually really like that movie.
Yeah, I don't think you can
No,
compare
they're
the
not
two.
the same.
Very different.
They're not the same.
But the story is different.
Yeah, it's more based around like the bride, isn't it? Yeah, it's good. It makes me understand why they're putting the Hatbox Ghost in the Haunted Mansion in Disney World. Looks like there's a bit of an event going on in the atrium. We have a lot of characters and a lot of people. This morning for breakfast we found these Churro waffles, which are sort of a rare appearance from time to time. You can get them on most cruises, but you have to be lucky to get them when they come out. So we are taking them to the ice cream place. I mean, my ice cream skills are not the best when it comes to plates and waffles, but there we are, Churro waffles with vanilla ice cream. You can have that one. We've been keeping an eye on the merchandise during the cruise, like seeing what's been available. This is sort of nearly everything's been restocked. Those ears sort of disappeared on the first day and have come back every day since. Got a nice magnet here as well with all of the ships on it. The other thing that disappeared and came back is the Dream Spirit jersey, but only in extra large. So if you like it oversized, they still had it. They seem to be doing a relatively good job of keeping everything in stock. All of the Europe stuff's still available as well. So On the first day it looked like it was going to be rough, but it's been okay. So still full stock of the European sailing merchandise. Obviously not very much longer left of the Europe season, so 2 cruises after this, then the ship is back off to the States. Also still have good stock of the 25th anniversary years. I thought these would disappear, but they evidently have a good supply of them. Same with the lounge flies. These were very popular on the first day with the European stuff because there is 2 sailings left of the season. I wouldn't be surprised if it's all in Character Warehouse in like a month.
We have some characters, as always, meeting in the atrium. I do really like these 25th anniversary costumes. There's Minnie on the balcony and Donald down in the main atrium. His costume is probably my favourite.
If you want to know how amazing the crew is, on our first night as we were going into Enchanted Garden, which was our first restaurant, we saw our very first server from our very first cruise together, and we're like, oh my god, it's Salome, because you remember them. And if you watch my first episode, it was like one of my top tips is really get to know like your server, because you'll spend a lot of time talking to them, and we talk about her like every now and then, like, oh, do you remember this, or do you remember that? And then and we saw her, and that was really nice, but we didn't say anything because we're like, she's not going to remember who we are.
Or what if it's not?
And what if it's not actually that Salome? And then we saw her today, didn't we, by the quick service up on deck, and she recognised you straight away.
When she said she saw me, she also said she saw you standing in the queue for the chicken nuggets.
Yeah, it wasn't like, oh yeah, I remember you, not really.
I was on my own with
Yeah,
her.
it was.
And then I brought her over.
Yeah,
to you.
and she even referenced the conversation. She said, you said you would be back, and you're back. And that for me is just the mark of incredible service. So one, that's why you spend a lot of time getting to know your or talking to any crew member that you interact with, because they do remember. And 2, that is just how and why we love this thing so much, because she remembered 3.5 years. I love when you walk like towards the back of the ship and you look out the windows and it looks like you're walking like 100 miles an hour. And it's time for our final restaurant of the cruise. We are back in Animator's Palette. I say back, we haven't been there this cruise, but we've been here before. So the show in here is basically Turtle Talk with Crush, if you've ever been to the Seas Pavilion at Epcot. If you are on a cruise, that you will get 2 nights in Animator's Palette, and one of the nights isn't a themed night like Pirate Night. They also do the draw your own cartoon and animated show, which personally I think is much better. We also have some food. I've started with the baked potato soup. Roberta has gone with some truffle pasta. For main, what a surprise, Richard has the beef. This is a beef tenderloin. It's teriyaki glaze. It normally comes with wasabi potatoes, but I have asked and they have changed the wasabi potatoes for the sour cream potatoes that should come with the chicken. Roberta actually went with one of the vegetarian options. This is a halloumi and what? Sesame and halloumi parcel with mashed tahini potatoes. And the verdict is good. We're back with the crayons. 3 moves to change 4 squares to 3 squares. So we need to figure this one out. While this really bakes our noodle, we have some dessert. So I have the apple crumble rice pudding with ice cream. I've had this before. It is excellent. Roberta has the what's it called? Icebox cake. So like a lemon cheesecake. Is it good? We got given a hint. The thing is, we've done all of these before, but you forget. We were given a hint. The hint is Mickey Mouse, and that made sense. Go on, Roberta, you solve it. 1 move. 2 moves. 3 moves. 3 squares. 4 squares to 3 squares.
I never want to eat again.
Yeah, we always say whenever we've finished, whenever we've finished on our last night, we're like, oh, I'm really looking forward to getting back to normal food. The food is obviously excellent. There's just always so much of it, and you eat 3 meals a day. I don't know, can't speak for everyone, but when I'm at home, genuinely I forget to eat sometimes. I'll get through the day, you'll get to 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I'll be like, I haven't eaten anything today, just had coffee. But we'll be back there tomorrow for breakfast, for our final morning breakfast, which is always a nice breakfast, but sad because you're getting off. But that's kind of it for food point of view, because I'm not obviously going to vlog anything tomorrow. We said when we got to the end we would rate the restaurant's order in like least favourite to favourite.
Enchanted Garden, Animator's Palace, and Royal Table.
So that was in... Wait, I think you did that favourite first, right?
Yeah.
Enchanted Garden first, Animator's Palace in the middle,
Animator's
Royal
Palace.
Table. Fair enough.
Royal Table.
I was, for me personally, Royal Table at the top, Animator's Palette in the middle, assuming that you can do that potato swap thing that I said, because I just don't like the wasabi, and then Enchanted Garden at the bottom. So we basically have opposing food tastes. Great. Our final towel / runner animal seems to be some kind of like stingray, complete with bear on top. And a reminder that we are getting an hour back tonight because we obviously put the clocks forward an hour when on our first night. I do feel a little bit like they have stolen an hour of my cruise though, because I'm getting the hour back tonight when I'm getting off tomorrow. I know they haven't. It's just the way my mind works that I feel like I've been, I'm short an hour. I demand an extra hour on the ship. Anyway, comment card is in. If you've watched my previous stream series, you will know the importance of the comment card. Of course, fill it in. Please do fill it in because it's very important for the crew that this gets filled in, especially for your server team. So take some time to fill it in. Drop it off at the box outside your morning restaurant or on the gangway on your way off. There's questions on here about the quality of the food and stuff like that. They did say, and generally they've said before, that the food is even if like the quality of the food comes back to the server, which I've always thought is unfair because they don't make it. But Argus, our server, has been very clear with us that they've been getting some feedback where all of the comment cards came back as excellent, but then they were getting like feedback through other means that the food wasn't really good enough. So they were like confused as to why that would be. So they've said be very specifically clear about how you feel about the food. Obviously, if you liked it and you thought it was excellent, mark it as excellent. If you didn't think it was excellent, then give honest feedback. So that's pretty much going to be it for this one. We are going to go out and do some evening things. There's a few game shows and stuff that are on. I'll probably stay up late like I do on most final evenings to go out and try and take some pictures of an empty ship. Roberta's very excited because we're watching the first episode of The Mandalorian and Grogu's just turned up. But we do have a small announcement. We are going back to Disneyland. Woo! Yeah, we're heading back to the West Coast. We're going to America in October for a friend's wedding in New York, and of course we figured then the best thing to do was go to Disneyland because, you know, New York and California are super close together. But that means if you do want more vlogs and you have enjoyed these vlogs, then do subscribe because they will be coming later this year. And if you haven't enjoyed these vlogs, why are you still here? You should have clicked off already. But other than that, other than subscribing, comment, like, all of that other stuff that YouTubers ask you to do, and we will see you very, very soon. Bye!